My last Garmin versus Apple Watch video absolutely blew up. Like, I genuinely didn't expect that many people to care about a dude on the internet comparing two smartwatches. But apparently, we're all a little bit obsessed with tracking. Oh, and arguing with each other on YouTube about which smartwatch is best. But anyway, all of this got me thinking. Everywhere I look, especially in the comments on that video, it's recovery scores, heart rate zones, sleep metrics, and to be honest, it's like we don't trust our bodies anymore unless a smartwatch tells us how we're doing. But here's the problem. I think that all of this obsession with data and metrics is actually causing more problems than it solves. Let me explain. I've been wearing a Garmin for years now and more recently switched over to the Apple Watch Ultra 3. And don't get me wrong, I love them both. I track my runs, my HRV, my recovery, my steps, all of it. But at some point I realised the more I was tracking, the less I was listening to my body. For example, I'd wake up feeling good after a solid 8 hours, look down at my watch and see that my body battery wasn't charged up. And at that point, I'd instantly start questioning how I was feeling. It's like we've outsourced our sense of self to a device that we wear on our wrist. And when you think about it, that's a bit mad, right? We've become so dependent on data to tell us whether or not we're allowed to feel good, rather than listen directly to the thing that's given the device the data itself in the first place. I mean, can you imagine letting Apple rings ruin your day? Now, I'm no psychologist, but I think it's because numbers give us control. We love seeing measurable progress, pace getting faster, heart rate getting lower, VO2 max going up. It's addictive, like a game. But the problem is, the moment those numbers don't move, motivation tanks. And then you start questioning everything. I mean, how many times have you been there yourself? When a 5K that took you 25 minutes last week took you an extra 30 seconds this week. It's easy to get caught up in the data and the stats, forgetting that progress isn't linear. It's messy and unpredictable and full of bad days. So when your watch says unproductive, you start believing you're unproductive, and that's dangerous. It's like a weird reverse placebo effect that can actually make you feel worse in yourself, but for literally no reason at all. So the other day, I went out for a run. No music, no pace goals, just running. Halfway through, I realised how much more I was feeling into the session. The wind, the breathing, the rhythm of my feet crashing onto the concrete. And when I finished, I actually felt incredible. But then, as you do, I looked down at my Garmin and it said performance condition -4. And then I laughed, like how could I have had such a good session, but apparently, according to my watch, be underperforming? And that is when it hit me. I've been training for validation from my watch and not for myself. Future Luke here, and I thought I'd report that just whilst we're on the topic of talking about how we shouldn't listen to smartwatches and how sometimes you should listen to your body, it turns out today we should have listened to the smartwatch. It told me I wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready. I've just finished 10K, and it was arguably the hardest 10K I've done in a long time, just like my smartwatch predicted. Back to you, Pass Luke. Now, I'm not saying throw away your Garmin or your Apple Watch. They are amazing tools, but they're just that, tools. And just like any other tool, they're either really useful or a hindrance, depending on how you're using them. Use the data to guide you, not to judge you. If the watch says rest, but you're feeling good, then go and train. If it says unproductive, but you've been consistent, then you probably are still progressing, because your body doesn't live in a nap. It adapts based on effort, sleep, stress, and all of these other factors. And as advanced as these little things are, at the end of the day, they're just algorithm-based computers that live on your wrist. And we all know that computers aren't the most reliable thing in the world. So instead of chasing these perfect metrics, chase consistency, because that is the stat that will actually change your life. And look, I'm not innocent either. I literally check every single stat logged after every run, so I get it. We love a feedback loop, but sometimes the best thing that you can do for your training and your mental health is not know. No data, no numbers, just feel. So yeah, tracking's great until it's not. And it's important to realize when you start letting what was originally supposed to help you level up, start keeping you stuck. So if you've ever stressed about your Garmin body battery or your Apple rings, this one's for you. If you found this helpful or at least relatable, drop a like and tell me in the comments, how bad is your tracking obsession? And be honest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.